This really interesting thing that's happened in the last 40 years, 50 years is, first of all, evolutionary psychology has developed, which gives us deep answers, deep scientific or science-based answers to why we have the feelings we do, why we have the emotions we do, more specifically, why some things feel bad and some things feel good. And we also have greater insight. You know, we are evolved to thrive in the savannas of Africa 100,000 years ago. And the problem is we're in a very different environment than they were. You've got systems within you, deep systems within you. There are two ways you can think of this. You can think about your brain. Your cortex is the higher brain, and it's living side by side with a mammalian brain, which is living wrapped around a reptilian brain. So the interesting thing is that as you evolved, it isn't sort of like the old brain was replaced by an all new model. It's just a newer part was wrapped around the older part. Those parts are still inside of you. They still respond to things. Your mammalian part provides you with feelings. Your reptilian part triggers reflexive behavior. And if you think about it, and if you've ever done any kind of meditation practice, the first step is to sit down and be quiet and just clear your mind of all thoughts for 5 minutes. You're lucky to last for 12 seconds before you sitting there quiet. Suddenly you have an idea that floats into your mind. And then the question is, where did that come from? Who put that there? And the answer is these deeper components of your brain. That's what they do. Instead of thinking of it in anatomical terms, you can think of it in system terms. We have these psychological modules, and each one is supposed to look out for a certain thing, and then they can poke ideas into your subconscious mind. So the technological analogy would be your conscious mind is like the front screen of your cell phone. Who knows how that stuff gets there, right? And sometimes you ask for it to be there, and sometimes it just pops up on that screen because deeper systems are at work. Yeah, and so you've got this output in your brain. So step one is realize that just because you have a feeling, just because you have an idea, you should not take ownership of it. It's these deeper, irrational systems trying to control you, trying to tell you how to live your life. That's what's going on. The second thing is to act fast. And that is before, so you get some kind of external stimulus. And the natural thing, what most people do is experience anger in response to that. So what you got to do is you got to be there first. Your rational brain has to be there first, and it has to say, oh, okay, subsystems of my brain, you know, it sounded like something to get angry about, but really it's kind of funny when you think about it. In other words, you distract them. You're tricking these systems into not only not undermining what you're doing, but into working on your behalf.